Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, we have to talk about the stock market volatility, ladies and gentlemen. Invest. But how? You can win. You decide. It's your own way to win without having to worry about your job. You are your own business person when you were doing it yourself. And let's talk about Bitcoin going down, coming back up. Volatility galore is good for those that invest in ups and downs and in between. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know what information somebody else is looking for. You never know what's gonna go down, and it's going down right before your very eyes. Volatility is great if you're investing in the right stocks, in gold, in silver. If you are playing the market, it is heaven sent to have this volatility. Today, an increase, which was great, all across the board. So you had ups, you had downs. And by the way, do you know if you're doing option trading or just trading stocks or ETFs or just SPY or QQQ, up and down, you can always make money. That's right. So I want to get you guys into this. We're going to talk about this on Wednesday a little more. I'm going to have a PDF for you because just some of you may be like me. You might not have ever done or thought about trading the stock market or currencies or crypto or anything else. But there are ways that you can actually be in business for yourself. And you know, I love being in business for myself, love betting on myself. That is one of the good things. So I'm going to give you guys something that I didn't know, indicators, models. I'm going to get you the Bible for the indicators. There'll be a PDF, but that's going to be on Wednesday. So you're going to have to come back and join me on Wednesday. And I've been doing some more experimenting, just so you guys know, because again, I'm a newbie. All right. Unlike DIM Pals, who knows how to trade the market already, another investor is first in the house. Welcome, DIM Pals, to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings the tagline this evening. Good evening, all. Bought some Ethereum today. Couldn't help it. I know. BMNR stock is looking to explode soon. Oh, he gave a ticker symbol. You guys going to have to go check it out yourself. This is one of the points I'm trying to make. You never know when somebody's going to say stock symbols. Do your own research. Go check it out yourself. I'm just saying. So once again, I'm messing around, learning my candles indicators that I talked about on Friday. Sure enough, I also implemented, remember that Autobot? I figured out the Autobot is doing some hedging. It does ups and downs and it caters toward when the market slides down. So once again, I said, okay, now that I know based on indicators, I'm testing still. I said, let me implement the Autobot XAU USD for all those who may be trying to figure out what I was trading. Gold USD, that's XAU USD. So when it started, I said, okay, it's going to go down now. So I started the Autobot. And in less than 5 minutes, because you can put in so many trades, and the market started going down like I anticipated. And because it put in so many trades, it went up around 1,500. It was somewhere between, it's hard when the numbers keep going, but it was 1,300 to 1,500, somewhere in that ballpark, just like in just mere minutes. I was like, okay, because you can stop the Autobot, remember? Close out as well. So that is what I used and implemented last night as I was studying the candles. And there's so many. I don't even know how people can remember these things. But for everybody that studies, you get better. And I got better by trading myself. I don't know what to call it, whether it's day trading, swing trading. I have no idea. But all I'm saying is I was just going throughout the day, paying attention to how the market moves and how the candles move, because it does tell a story. And I had my two RSIs up that also helped me out as well. Like I said, indicators are good, but knowing what to expect and hopefully it goes according to plan more times than not is where you start honing your skills. EV Place, another investor is here, and businessman, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all doing well. Have you noticed MSTY paid 60 cents, 5% of current price on last week dividend? Yes, yes, yes. After switch from monthly to weekly. That's right, everybody. In case you don't know the news, YieldMax ETF have ETFs paying weekly. 60 cents is 5% MSTY. The unfortunate thing was, as you know, there's a balance, the stock price versus the dividend price. But hey, if you can get 5% in 1 month, or 3%, I mean, in 1 week, shall I say, 3%, 4%, 5%, 2% in a week, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand? $12.15 right now is what it is. 60 cents. What can you say? That's 5%. Pretty damn close. That would be a buy. Why is MSTY down like this? It's because MicroStrategy took a hit based on the fact that crypto went down so much. I'm hoping some people invested in crypto. And you know what else I just forgot about? I don't know how I forgot about this. What is it called? Unstoppable domains. I gotta keep this on lock too. I've been negligent about unstoppable domains. Everybody should have one. And I gotta tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, and children as well. Um, it's crazy out here. Here's what it is. Unstoppable domains may not be in a lot of people's vernacular, but as with anything, you want a domain name, right? Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to put a link down below in the chat room. The reason why, you'll be able to receive over 400 different types of crypto, just like I can give you stopstrugglingnow.crypto. All right, so you can send me any of the top 400 cryptos. It's that simple. So that's very powerful, because once you buy the domain, speaking of YieldMax ETFs, once you buy the domain, that is one-time price, especially if you buy the .crypto, the .x, the Bitcoin wallet, or whatever. You mint it onto a blockchain. You can actually build small websites on the blockchain. Do you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? There's no annual fee like a .com, .net, .org, whatever else they got these days. There's a one-time fee and payment. That's right. That's it. So you don't have to, like I have a upcoming, have to renew my domains with the .com. There's none of that. Guess what else? Somebody can't take it down either. You can't call up the ISP and take it down. That doesn't work. So again, it could be very powerful for the future. Is that worth 10 to 15 to 20 bucks? I think so. This gives you a chance to protect yourself. So down below in the box, the chat box, it's going to be added to the description box on YouTube, but sometime during this live stream, you'll have that. So go get in unstoppable domains, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You can see this right here. And speaking of Yomax ETFs, it was always a thing. But again, make sure you check out. There it is. Go there, join, free minting on the Polygon, one-time fee. You buy the domain. It was free minting on Polygon. I don't know if they still have that right now. And you don't have to pay annual fees. You don't owe nothing. And again, just like we have stopstrugglingnow.crypto, ssnlifestyle.crypto, myname.crypto. Just saying. .nft, stopstrugglingnow.nft, ssnlifestyle.nft. Anybody, I don't have to give anybody alphanumeric characters. They can send me Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, XRP. The list goes on and on. That's all you need to send me crypto. That is very, very cool. And again, the number one thing, you can mint it and build small websites right now. So once that expands, or there's a way to add more memory to the website itself, then that expands. This reminds me of late 1980s, when most of you don't even realize that there was live streaming on the internet, but it took up so much bandwidth. So only corporations would have to have servers in warehouses in order to have that live streaming go on. But the reason why it worked is because, again, it was in the adult entertainment business. And a lot of money. People used to pay $15 a minute, $25 a minute just to talk, or have their internet or phones modems hooked up, and your phone bill would be charged $3 a minute, $2 a minute, $5 a minute, all of that. And then you had memberships. So now that's why they were able to afford the live stream in the late 80s, early 90s, before live stream was even a thing. There was always live stream. All right. I'm a computer geek at heart. And that's what I was involved with myself. So that's why, fast forward to 2000s, and people now take live stream as it is, right? No big deal. It's normal. But back then, too much bandwidth. You couldn't send it through, what was it, 1,500 megabytes per second or some crazy low number. Just like right now, you can't send live streaming through 1,500, 2,000 MBS, right? So it wouldn't be possible. But guess what? Back in the day, it was done. And that's what leads to, fast forward 25, 30 years later, to where we are now. So just keep that in mind. You just never know what's going to be the next thing. But if it costs $25, $15, $25, $30, $35, and you can get yourself set up like this, you never know what that domain could lead to. It's worth its weight in gold, just like nobody knew what Bitcoin was in 2010. All right. Keep that in mind. Now, let's get back to EV Place. He's a business guy. You guys who have classic cars, or who wants renewable energy sources in their vehicles, you need to see EV Place, because he does speakers, custom speakers in vehicles that runs on battery power. So if you want 700 watts, you want 1,000 watts, you want uses of inductors, the latest thing, and you want it to sound crispy and sweet and clear, this is the man. So where do you go? I'm going to put a link in the chat room. All right. So you go see him. You call him. I know there's people out here that have cars and they think, wait, how do I have my sound system last without having to get a battery pack or run a generator, well, how would you like to have 1 hour to 2 hours worth of sound without running down your battery in your car? Don't have to bring out a generator either. How about that? You guys would love that, wouldn't you? I know it goes a long way. Hold on a second. Let me put it in here. Go hit them up. All right. Go hit them up. Hold on a second. Let me do something. I put it. Did I put it in? Oh, I did put it in. Here we go. eBay, ladies and gentlemen. Go check it out. All right. Go check it out. Spot ETFs on XRP are coming soon. Exactly. This is getting volatile. Once again, I'm so happy that I found out about the Autobot, because that got me into figuring out what it was doing. And then I got curious because I'm a numbers guy and I like seeing things, trying to figure some mathematical equations out. And so that was like right up my alley. And now that I'm getting into it, I'm actually learning, and I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness, this is actually bet on myself kind of thing. So, I'm happy and I'm learning, and it's unstoppable. I mean, I just have to keep learning. I'm watching people, and that's what you have to do when you invest your hard earned money, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you have to do. Lifetime warranty on speakers and induct. Oh my. Are you serious right now? Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. EV Place just said it. Lifetime warranty on speakers and inductors. Sounds like sound for life. And again, I went to go check out the classic cars in Las Vegas. And man, they had some sweet cars again in the 50s and the 60s. Even in the 40s, hot rods even. I mean, the the further you get away from 1930, 1940, 1950, the harder it is to have immaculate machines, because usually it's going to break down. It costs way too much, or you have to retrofit some items on it because you can't get the part anymore, of course. So you have to do a lot of things. And one of those things is always sound systems when you have the sweet rides. And even if you have a modern ride, you just got to be sweet, right? You got to have your sound systems got to be on point. A lot of people want that. So they want to upgrade. Here's one of the ways you upgrade. You go see EV Place. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen. You can see it in the chat room right there. Go see him, talk to him. Custom designed. All right. So don't miss out. Highly, highly. Look at this. Last chance to get XRP under $2.50. I will agree with this. Did you guys see it was down to 212? It was down to all these different low numbers, 225s, 240s, 250 again. This is going to keep going up, down, up, down. When those ETFs come for XRP, it's going to rise. Whether it rises to $3, $5, whatever, we don't know. But again, I'm going to caution everybody. I do have Bitcoin locked up only by accident. Okay, in case you guys don't know the story. In 2009, 2008, 2010, whenever it was, the online poker, United States blocked United States citizens. So how did they block them? See, this is what people don't understand. America has a history of not being so much freedom. They blocked it by we use debit cards and credit cards. So what they did was they put a code. So when you gamble, for instance, there's a code. So the United States blocks the code. Amex, MasterCard, Visa agreed. So therefore, you can't upload money anymore or get your money back on the card, nor they won't allow US banks to go to these other countries. So therefore, you can't wire, or you can have incoming, but you can't have outgoing. So therefore, you can't fund the account. Thus, why Bitcoin exists. So Bitcoin comes out. They were just starting saying, okay, send us X amount so send us $100 to fund the account. Well, they would take anywhere from $5 and up, but $100 you get a bonus. So I'm testing. So I go and buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. Now, Back in those days, again, I can't remember how much it was because it was meaningless. Bitcoin was like, what is this? This is garbage. This is funny. This is fake, whatever. It was either 3 cents or 30 cents. I just can't remember because it didn't really matter. I was just buying $10 so I can test it to upload to the offshore poker rooms. Well, guess what happened? Because there was no wallets, there wasn't any infrastructure. It was kind of like you had to send it to, I can't even really remember how it was sent, but to a number. Again, remember alphanumeric, what you guys now, everybody pretty much knows. Back then, alphanumeric characters. So what? Okay, I allegedly have $10 worth. So what? So I'm testing it. So I tried to send it to a poker room. The poker room says, oh, sorry, error, we didn't receive it. Okay. So then I went to another one that said they'll try the Bitcoin stuff. Tried to send it there, didn't get it sent, right? Came back, oh, sorry, doesn't work. So I was like, forget this. So whatever it is, whether it was 30 cents or 3 cents, because like I said, all I remember is 03 or 33. I can't really remember. Whatever it is, $10 worth of Bitcoin is worth a lot of money right now, but I can't access it because it just sat there. It didn't mean anything until around 2016, 2017, when all of a sudden there's this big Bitcoin popped up to, I don't remember what it was, 1,500, 2,000 or whatever it was. But that's when all of a sudden I'm like, oh, yeah. I got some of that stuff somewhere. XRP, same thing. Used to be 40 cents, 30 cents. In a wallet somewhere, I got a few thousand of them because it was cheap. And we're talking about 8, 9 years ago. So you never know what's going to happen. So when you don't want to do unstoppable domain, fine. You don't want to bet on yourself and figure out the up and coming things as an investor, fine, because you never know what actually is going to improve. Remember Solano? That used to be like 50 cents, $2, $3, $5. What is this? $100? What is this? It increased dramatically. So just keep in mind, you never know what's going to happen, but you have unstoppable domain for the future. At least you have a way to send money around the world. Nobody can stop you, which is the thing that governments are starting to do, right? Trying to stop you. Speaking about debit cards, I have received Uphold card. I can spend my XRP or others through Visa terminals. See what I'm saying? This is major. XR Ripple, a lot of people don't, you got to know history. Ripple was actually already doing low cost transactions. So for instance, let me give you guys an example. If I wanted to wire $2,000 internationally, it used to be something like $50, $45. It kind of went down a little bit now to 35 inside the USA to send out, right? But Ripple, that same, let's say 2 grand, could be like $2. Except they had it on the Ripple network, not XRP, even though XRP is cheap to send and receive as well. Now the United States government is like, oh yeah, crypto's all good. Once again, this unleashes things like this. What he's saying, XRP through Visa terminals, because Visa made an agreement to allow crypto. And again, remember, the government made them block it before. Around the world, you could do freedom is reign supreme. In America, they're like holding United States citizens hostage. It's incredible when you get into the financial situations. In 2005, 4, and before 6, 7, 8, I had cards that had the Visa MasterCard logo from the island of Malta, Costa Rica, somewhere in the EU, and the United States. I would play online poker. I would send them to those cards. And I use them just like what he's talking about right now. The United States government doesn't even know I'm winning at online poker. Non-trackable because it's not hooked up to any system in the United States. So people would say, well, where do you want me to download it to? I'd say send it to my card. What one was net? What was it called? Net teller. Was that it? Net something. I think it was net teller. One was started with a P. All these are outside the United States, and you didn't have to go to the country to get them. They would mail them to you. So now all the winnings used to go to those cards, and I just go do what he's talking about. Slide the card because it has the Visa MasterCard logo, works worldwide. So even when the United States cut off the United States citizens cards, it was just laughable because I was like, I have cards that aren't from the US and they still have the Visa MasterCard logo. They let us use it. Was like, this is silly. I'm supposedly in the free country. Again, ladies and gentlemen, things happen that you don't know about. And here we go again. This is major right here. Crypto through Visa terminals is major. Again, the EU and around the world is ahead of the United States. I'm just saying. These guys have already set their positions where they said that you can legally do money transfers and things like this in the EU like 3, 4, 5 years ago. So about time the United States gets on board because we're losing the battle because the United States is being stubborn. It's ridiculous. The rest of the world is like, okay, US, we'll just bypass you. You guys are the new kids on the block. The other country's been around for thousands of years. US, less than 500. Think about it. They're like, and you're only 300 and some odd million people. The rest of the world is 8 billion. So again, all this stuff is crazy right now. Crazy. What was that? Speaking about debits, yeah, exactly. I love hearing this. Revolut is great travel pay card. Also, no currency exchange fee. Yeah, I heard about Revolut. Like, oh man, it's been 5, 6 years ago when they first started. Something like that, I think. It was crazy. That was another, you know what? Revolut's been around longer than that. But the fact is, I don't know what happened to them because they were coming out when I was doing some poker stuff around 2012, maybe, or 2011, somewhere in there. So, but then I never heard nothing about them. Then they popped back up on the screen, on the scene, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I think it is. So I'm glad that they're doing whatever they're doing. That's pretty sweet. Um, but again, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to protect yourself out here. All right. The stock market is doing the volatility thing. That means you can win. I'm like sitting here again. I haven't traded any money other than demos because, again, I figured if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to learn the whole thing. All right. On Wednesday, you guys will be able to download the Bible. All right. For learning the candles, if you don't know already, and oh my, it's extensive. I'm like, I can't even believe this is actually a thing. And it actually works. So again, I was studying last night, all day yesterday, watching some games, doing my thing, paying attention, not paying attention, coming back in, saying, okay, I see what's happened, like a story. I see the story. I see this. According to what I've learned, this is what should happen. And sure enough, not 100% of the time, don't get me wrong, but it was more like 60 to 70% of the time, it behaved as I thought it should. I said, okay, I'm going to go with the belief that, hey, these guys, this is like hundreds of years of, studying. So I said, let me go see. And I entered some trades just to see what would happen to boot. And I said, okay, I was like, this is interesting. So learning more and more and more is incredible. All right. So I'm going to show you guys something too, but I'm going to unveil my XAU USD because I still believe the bot can help you. So that's pretty interesting. Brian P., Mr. Dividend, is in the house doing the salsa dance every Friday and Monday because of dividends from YieldMax ETF. And welcome to the SSN Nation. Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Happy day, Eric. I hope all is well with you and your family. Thank you. Yes, it is. Happy day, SS and family. Smash that like button. Give it a one piece, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. Thank you so much for mentioning that. It's free out here. Everybody on podcast, hit the like, hit the heart, hit the star wherever you're watching and listening from. Make sure your presence is felt. We are making money in here. That's what we try to do, ladies and gentlemen. Money Making Monday, Wealthy Wednesday, Friday, Financial Friday night. That's what we're trying to do. So you guys get the theme around here. Stop struggling now, ladies and gentlemen, is possible. So let me ask you guys something. I'm about to do an attempt, ill advised, but I'm going to do an attempt because I have in one account, I don't know, maybe let's just call it 400 bucks. Once I finish on whether it's this Thursday or this Friday, I am going to trade with a low amount that's ill advised because the guys that have the bot says you should start with 1,000. I'm like, I don't even think I need to start with 1,000 anymore. I'm going to start with 400 bucks to prove my point. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm just going to trade this because it's volatile. I mean, you can go up a little bit, then it drops to where it's supposed to go or go the reverse. And so you need a little leeway, right? But I'm still going to give it a shot because I'm game. I'm like, I want to see if I can just do it, put pressure on myself. Is that really pressure? I don't know. But I'm going to be very, very confident when I finally feel very confident that I think I can make it happen. I'm already feeling confident. But again, 60, 70%. I'm trying to figure out, can I make it even a higher percentage? Can I get it to 80%, 85%? If I can get that little extra, that would make me feel even better. So I'm going to keep studying for the next 3 days. And then I'm going to bust out, whether it's going to be Thursday or Friday. I'm going to bust out. All right. With the real trades. And in fact, I'm going to do more than that because as I'm studying, this is something I did when I started Poker 101 lessons. Since I was learning, then I would share with other people too. So I'm going to start doing that because while I'm studying the Bible, the Candle Bible, um, I figured, what am I doing? I might as well, hey, see if other people would be looking at this. And I know they are because I come over, I see our friends. They're saying, go see this person on YouTube. Go see that person on YouTube. They explain the candles. They do very good jobs. But see, I come from a different perspective. I cannot explain the candles. So all I can do is show them as a layman, so to speak. I'm not a professional, right? I'll tell you guys when I'm a professional. I'm pretty sure there's a professional day trader or swing trader or market traders, whatever. I'm just kidding. It's money coming in. So, but in poker, we actually, if you're a professional poker player, you file as a professional poker player, right? That's your job. So just saying, hey, Eric, did you like those emails? No, man. No, no, no. I don't like the emails. In fact, let me go get these emails right now because I'm just like this. This is outrageous. I mean, there Okay. It said device disconnected. I don't know how I did that. That's interesting. All right. So it looks like we got some mail. Brian P. Yeah, man, you upset me with that. Mic is off. Thank you, EV Place. You're muted. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I just caught it earlier than usual. Unmute your mic. Yeah, it all of a sudden went mute for some strange reason. I don't even know what's up with that. But it happens occasionally, especially you guys know that we're checked out, right? You know we're checked out. AWS disruption. Yeah, I know. I know. Amazon cloud affected along with other clouds. Very, very dangerous. AWS outage takes major websites dark. What we know as recovery begins. Speaking of that, remember Unstoppable Domain? It's on the blockchain. Even if one section of the blockchain could be out, because you have verifiers on the network from all over the world, the network won't be out. Think about that. Up to 13% of dementia diagnoses may actually be a treatable condition. Science alert. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have news for you. There are 100 different, more than 100 different dementias. There are some things you can do. Your diet is very important. Let me just start off at the top. Health is wealth. Stay away from sugar. You can use stevia. Okay? Stay away from sugars. Do not use that diet, that other equate, the pink stuff, the just stevia, all right? I beg you. Carbs, carbohydrates, and sugar. You need to pay attention what's on these boxes and labels. Again, hold on a second. Let me see if I have something. Let me see something real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do something. Hold on. You guys, in fact, I'll play the one video that I have. I gotta find my other ones. I lost them. I don't know where they are. That's bad. I don't know where they are is crazy. Actually, I guess I do know where they are. I don't have access to them though. This is the only SSN lifestyle video that I have access to right now. So check this out. Come on, come on. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I left the unmute the mic on. Mic check, mic check. We're back. Okay. 1 gram. Oops. Here we go. 1 gram. Stevia. See that? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you my phone just to give you guys an idea. Regular phone. This is 1 gram. You guys have seen this when you go to any restaurant. They have these packs, the pink one, the white one, the all different kinds, right? This is 1 gram. So when you go look on the back of any product and you see 9 grams per serving, that's 9 of these packs in your glass, in your bowl of cereal. When you see 26, in fact, tell your kids to bring you a box of your cereal in your house. A lot of Americans eat cereal. Bring some cereal. Look at the back. How do you do 23 of these grams? 26 grams of sugar. That's 26 packs in a bowl. But I got worse news for you. After you go look at the box, go look and see how many carbohydrates are there. And you'll also see 20 some grams of carbs. Guess what? Carbs turn into sugar. Stevia is from plant-based sugar that does not transform into sugar in the body. So therefore, when you guys have your teachers saying, hey, your kid is all excited when they show up at school, but then by noon they're sleeping, you gave them 20 some grams of sugar plus 20 some grams of carbs to have 40 of these packs in a bowl. 40. Do you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? And some people continue this throughout their whole lives. And guess what? One of those things is just what we're talking about, dementia. Okay? Sugar. And that also turns into diabetes and other sugar in your blood. And now it goes to your organs because it's bad. But people don't pay attention. So again, when you're drinking your coffee, get some stevia. It's pretty cheap. All right? All right, helps your insulin levels, glucose levels. All right, helps your body perform a little better. Just one little thing that you can do when we're talking about dementia. Okay? Fresh fruits and veggies, green leafy things, spinach, kale, not lettuce, spinach, kale. Okay? Just give you guys some starter kits. Blueberries helps create new brain cells, by the way. Some of us drink, right? So we've been knocking off our brain cells. So rejuvenate them. Blueberries. Omegas. You have avocados. Simple. Avocados. You're good. All right? Hopefully I'm helping out. Crazy. Exactly. Exactly. And these are, this affects many different dementias because what you're putting in your body. And remember, some people are doing this from the time they're born, from the time they're 5 years old, 6 years old, going to school. And they think getting a bowl of cereal. My uncle, he's like 80 something. He's sitting over here like getting his bowl of whatever. I said, look, 26 grams of sugar in a bowl, 29 grams of carbohydrates, 57 or so odd grams of, and so I had a 80 pack of stevia. They come in a 80 pack box. I dumped the whole box on the thing and go, there's 80 packs right here. That's what you just had in this bowl of cereal. All bad. That is not this. It's not stevia. It's sugar that ruins your body. All of this makes, and again, pills are going to be taken, right? Because you're going to have to offset some things that this causes. This is just, and cancer is another situation that it causes as well. All right. Hopefully that helps you out. Health is wealth, and you need it now more than ever if you live in America. The rest of the developed nations around the world, they have health care for their citizens. 33 health care for all countries. America does not have health care for all. You're going to be charged an arm and a leg for your insurance and your hospital visit. You need to stay away from hospitals, ladies and gentlemen. Now, hopefully, let's get back to the business at hand, because money making Monday means you keep it in your pocket. So let's get back into it, shall we? I just had to go off the rails about that because it's very, very simple. And one other thing. There's this thing growing up when beef does a body good, right? Everybody goes, oh, I get protein from eating beef and this, that, and the other. When you're having your cooked steaks, you guys need to study steaks process in your body and through your system very, very hard. It taxes your system. So when people say there's a rise in X, there is an X if your staple was a lot of beef, animal product, right? You can get the same amount of protein from an egg, chicken. All right. I mean, there's other substitutes, omegas from fish and salmon and things like that. So, again, one of these days, we'll have to get into it a little bit more, but I just want to get you guys on the right path. FDA recalls several pet food brands. Oh, Jesus. See, Brian P., it's, I know when I'm going to open up, it seems that United States doesn't give a crap about its citizens. That's why you have to make more money, ladies and gentlemen, regardless if you have a job, regardless if your boss loves you, regardless of anything, you're going to have to make money on your own. This is why I'm very, very interested in making money on my own. Stock trading is an option because the stock market is owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest. They own 93% of the stock market. So that casino is going to keep running on a daily basis around the world. Okay? So you guys understand you can make money and it doesn't take much. There could be a swing in just 3 to 4 minutes. And as you have if you made your trades at the opportune time, you could actually make $2, $3, $4, $5, $600 within a mere minutes. And who says you have to keep doing it? You could stop. You don't have to be greedy, but you have to do money management. This is business, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be the CEO of your life, you want to be an emerging millionaire, you have to do money management. That's the only way you can do it. All right? So, just letting you know. And in fact, I got to show you guys, I'm going to unveil the live stream that I'm going to be doing when I'm going to be doing demos this week. I'm going to unveil this and I'll show you that in a second. But several pet food brand recalls the FDA. Food Dynamics, Raw Bistro are recalling several of their pet food brands over possible salmonella contamination. Oh my goodness. Now pets are effed up. This is insane. They won't give me the names, unfortunately. Oh, wait a minute. They do. Raw Dog Barkery, Bell Pepper Cats, Canu Pets, Kanu. What's in the Bowl brand, freeze-dried pet treats. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man, they're not... Okay, I'm not getting any more now. But if any of those brands make any sense to you, Jesus. And I know how people love their pets. And now they're trying to kill your pets. See, this is what I'm saying. It's going down the hill, down the path. I've been telling you guys this for 5 years. This is not a shocker. Not a shocker. EV Place brings it up. EV Place, I saw that, man. Yeah. That's a problem. Oh, wait, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your 10-year yield is at 3.99. It's been flirting 3.95, 3.99, 4.01. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the United States, this is not a good thing. Some would say it's good. It's only good because the mortgage rates may come down. But the fact of the matter is, the lower this rate is, the less people from outside the United States will invest in the United States. That also means the Federal Reserve can't print as much money. Or, well, they still will, but they shouldn't be, because it's based on that. So that's why they have to try and keep it above 4%. But if you want the housing market to all of a sudden well, I don't know how it's going to take off, because again, we have 80% of people living paycheck to paycheck right now. They're already maxed. So again, this is not good. Not good at all. All right. And oh, by the way, I might as well mention it right now. Also, something I haven't done in a while. You guys know I mentioned poker. Well, I decided, you know what? Bet on black. Me, myself. I said, you know what? I might as well just play online poker some more or go play poker. Not shall I say play. I don't like playing live in person because it takes too long for hands to go around. You get 24 hands per hour or 23 or 20 hands per hour. Online, I can have 4 tables up and play 50 to 55 hands per hour for each one. So I figured, why not get back into some of those things that I used to do, have a little fun, travel the world, have fun. You guys know I'm retiring anyhow in about, what is it, 9 months, 10 months, or is it 1 year and 6 months? I can't remember anymore. But nonetheless, I mean, retiring from doing videos all the time. But it's going to be fun because I might start doing that. And yes, you guys might have heard of World Poker Tour. So I got in touch with the World Poker Tour online. They started something new. And I said, hey, I need a code. I'm going to start doing some online poker stuff again. Since I'm going to be online, I might as well do some trading. Might as well do some other things. So while we're doing Money Making Monday, I'm giving you guys some things that you can do yourself. Now, let's get to the other factors as well. Findhelp.org. Every live stream, I have to mention this because people need it. Go to findhelp.org if you need some help on a myriad of things. Just go look at it. Put in your zip code if you're in America. That's for starters. We need you to have good credit as well. But findhelp.org is not for credit. It's to help you. If you need help, medical help, job training help, caregiver help, rental help, electricity or utilities help, it's all there and more. Put in your zip code if you're in the United States and you'll find out how much help is in your area. Nonprofits, call them up. Some will say it doesn't cost anything. Some will say it's a little minimal charge because they get funding from the federal government and state governments. All right? So that's where you go. We need you to have your credit score up as well. You guys don't understand. You have 1 year, 3 months to go. Get your credit score to 775. That's the goal. How do we get you there? Well, one thing is most of you have debt scenarios in your life. You need to reduce your debt, but you don't know what to do. You can call up and say, hey, can you guys have anything on any way I can reduce my debt? Any special programs? They might say yes. We might have a freeze where we'll do a special deal so you can pay this down faster. That's all fine and dandy. But as you guys know, sometimes it's more extreme than that because you can't just simply call up and be good. So what do? You do debt consolidation without filing bankruptcy, without not paying and getting on the debt collection programs that hurt your credit score. No, all you have to do is hit up Tracy, Tracy.sharpe with an E at the end at moneyladder.com. Let her know you're part of the SSN Nation. Eric told me to come over here. I need my debt resolution, deduction, whatever you can do. And I understand it could take me 1 to 2.5 years. That puts you in the time frame to get everything set so you can get your credit score to 775 in 1 year and 3 months, 1 year and 6 months. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Get on track. Why? I made a video about financial help because I want you to be able to at least have something in your back pockets. Because if you have a great credit score, you will be able to benefit from the 0% interest debt for 24 months, which they have right now. By 1 year and 3 months, I am betting that it's going to be 0% interest up to 36 months. Who wouldn't want that? If you had a card right now that's maxed or 70% bad, right? 80%, 60%. And you're like, man, they're kicking my behind because my interest is 15 or 25 or 30. What if it was 0? So you transfer it into 0% interest for 3 years, whatever amount you're paying monthly, and then some goes 100% to the balance. That's what you would want to do, and you free up that other card. Not that you want to use it. That's the point. You don't want to use it, but your credit score could use it, right? So this is what I'm talking about, all right? Get your acts together, get your debt reduced, and put whatever disposable income into investments. Bitcoin is still on the line. Ethereum still on the line. XRP still on the line. That is just a few. You want to start messing around? Fine. But you're going to have to stay with the old standbys, SPY, QQQ, and dividend funds. Mandatory. You're going to need passive income if you're not going to work 2 jobs. All right. So just think about that. I need you guys to get ready. Here we go. 0% APR for a year if you move your debt to Berkeley's. It's starting. Exactly. And there's more. A lot of people have them. A lot. Um, uh, who am I thinking? Chase has 0 to 18 months. You got uh, I can't even remember. You know what? You can just Google. I can't even remember. I did a video about it too. Um, it's here. 0 to 24 months is right now. They even had something weird. 0% interest for 21 months. I was like, 21 months? That's weird. 18 months, always been a thing. 12 months, a thing. But you can get up to 24 months now. That's right. 24 months, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that? Now you know you have a payment every month, right? Let's just be clear. You don't get to not have a payment. That just means 0% interest. So like 99.7 or 99% goes towards your balance. And the reason I leave off the 1% or less is because you're going to have an annual fee, right? They have an annual fee. So you're going to add that, whether it's, $75 or $99 or $125, you're going to, whatever you owe plus $12 a month or something. I don't, what I'm trying to say. So, you put it in a monthly and they say send this amount, but you don't have to pay that 25, 35 or 30% interest or that daily interest that accumulates. This is why you need smart credit. Very simple. Smart credit helps you. It's a monitoring system. It tells you when to pay during the month. All right? They have specials. Use our code. They have specials. Hold on a second. Let me go find out smart credit. I'll put a link down below in the description box, but I'm going to put a link in the chat room first. And there's Tracy in the chat room. tracy.sharpe at moneyladder.com if you want to get your debt consolidated. And it takes 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. You need to get started now. Yes, you're not going to be able to get credit cards and all that jazz. You are on a mission because you're going to be left behind, ladies and gentlemen. Once this next whatever happens, you will not be able to get credit. Credit's going to be a whole different ballgame. If you don't have assets, if you don't have some way to figure out how you're going to be able to borrow, and even then when you borrow, what's the rate? 8%, 12%, 15, 20, 25, 30? You see where this is going? So you're going to need premium credit to get the lowest rates. You're going to need premium credit to make things happen. But when you make things happen, you're going to have to look at it a different way. You're probably going to have to think about, maybe I should buy something that I get a return on my investment from with these dollars that I'm borrowing against. So just think about that, all right? Now, you can see it on the screen. So everybody on replay, you have no excuse either. Everybody on podcast, I better give you the name. T as in Tom, RACY, dot, Sharpe, S as in Sam, HARP as in Paul, E, at moneyladder.com. All right? tracy.sharpe at moneyladder.com. Hit her up in an email. Let her know you're from SSN Nation and you need that debt consolidation like the big boys. All right? And there's more to the story that you will find out that can actually help you in the future. So you're not going to be locked out, because we all know if you're already living paycheck to paycheck, 80% of us, 85% is what the next number is going to be. I know for a fact it's going to be 85% to match Canada, right? Prices have went up. And people are losing jobs. So we know 85% are going to be maxed. That's why you have to get on it now, because later prices are even going to be higher. So any disposable income you have right now, you're going to lose it over time unless you're about to get a 15 to 20% increase in your wages. So again, good luck, ladies and gentlemen, emerging millionaires. You know where to go get the gear, by the way, stopstrugglingnow.com. All right. Yeah, I see 21 months like City. There you go. City's one of them. Waiting for 36. Exactly. Again, this is all my prediction. This is my prediction. No, there has never been 0% for 36 months, right? But I know in fact, 0% for 24 months was only one other time that I know about. So I know what's going to be happening because people won't be able to get credit. So you have to understand, the companies need you to have credit first. That's the first thing. Companies, these corporations on the stock market, they can't survive if you can't buy. So there has to be a shift somewhere. Their only shift they have left is to have more people be able to afford to pay. So therefore, they're willing to give you 0% via Visa, MasterCard, Amex, any other corporation, any other company, Home Depot card, all these guys, they're going to do it because they get fees regardless. So it's not no skin off their back. So they're just going to let you be able to get more credit. So to them, does it really matter if my price is 100% more and I gave you 0% interest? No, because you bought my product today at today's prices. You're paying back in tomorrow's prices to whoever the IOU goes to. I got paid at the store. The money's in my account tomorrow. You follow where this goes? Okay, get with the program, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, like I said, that's why you're going to need 775, ladies and gentlemen, because you're going to be special. Because there's going to be a run on how many people are even going to have a score over 780, because more people are living paycheck to paycheck, which means they're maxing their credit scores. So now credit starts dropping. This is why you already have 0% interest for 24 months. And it's going to get worse. All right? Just keep that in mind. Thank you, EV Place, the U.S. Bank Shield. There we go. There we go. That's one of them. Is the best option for 24 months. 0% introduction is currently the longest introductory period available on a mainstream credit card. Exactly. There it is. He's got it exactly right. U.S. Bank. There you go. Listen to this. 5% fee applies to each balance transfer. There you go. There's one way they get it. But if you take that over 24 months, I'm just saying that's 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, 2.5% a year. I think you better take it. The reason I'm saying that is because most of you are going to be in the 19%, 18%, up to 30 some percent. You can never pay it back. This would reduce your monthly payment dramatically. And then you have 100% of what you're paying going there, minus the 5%. So we're at 95% with this card. 94. But that's better than only 50 or 55% going towards your balance. Right? Think about it. So we want you in position. That's what we do. In fact, a lot of people, you guys got to understand, our channel's always been docked. And again, I hate to say it, I told you so's and all that stuff. But 5, 6 years back, when I said, hey, you might want to get stuff outside of the United States, people were like, everything's going to be fine. Okay, is everything fine? I don't think so. You heard about people getting their passports blocked? Google. All right. People who had special passports because they put an X, male, female, or other, they had their passports canceled. There's other people that get their passports canceled because you're on the no-fly list inside America. See, there's all kind of different things that are going on that people just ignore because it doesn't happen to 50% of the people. It only happens to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of the people. So it doesn't get out there because it's not enough people. But all kind of things are happening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you caught. I want you to be able to be flexible. If things can't be done here, you can bounce to another location and do something there. Can't do anything at the other location, well, you're doing something else. You have connections, just like we talked about unstoppable domain. Somebody can send you crypto anywhere in the world, right? You can do transactions with crypto anywhere in the world. How about that card, the Uphold card? Okay, fine. United States, or is it? See, these are the things you have to think about. It has a Visa MasterCard logo. You can be anywhere in the world, right? And just saying. XRP given back as rewards could be good. Again, all these things matter. You have to figure out what to do. And I'm giving you some heads up. Flexibility matters. All right. When you're on the government's most wanted list, flexibility matters. All right. You need to be flexible. All right. Enough with the too much talk about all that. But again, I just want you guys straight here in the SSN Nation. All this other stuff, it's not always about money. Just remember that. Oh my God. Charlotte activists took advantage of the homeless to steal millions. Feds say, okay, feds, I don't believe when the feds say steals millions, it could be 100,000. You just never know with them. They like that exaggerated headlines. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Here we go again. Remember, I told you guys, you aren't special. You guys aren't special. B of A loans to bankrupt First Brands secured. Morgan Stanley has no exposure. Can you believe this crap? Can you believe this garbage? B of A loans to bankrupt First Brands secured. Unbelievable. Secured by collateral. Jesus. October 15th, syndicated loans to First Brands are secured by strong collateral, while Morgan Stanley has no exposure to the bankrupt U.S. auto parts supplier. The bank's top executive said on Wednesday, First Brands is a U.S. auto parts supplier, another corporation that has to deal with these ridiculous tariffs. The collapse of the First Brands within days of some prime lender and dealership Tricolor's fall has unsettled some participants in Wall Street multi-trillion-dollar credit market, spanning leveraged, collateralized loan obligations, CLOs, trade finance funds, and subprime auto loans, all going down. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this was going to be a meltdown one of these days. Both First Brands and Tricolor filed for bankruptcy protection last month. Where in the syndicated loan for the First Brands deal, B of A Chief Financial Officer Alistair Borthwick told reporters on a call, that is an asset-backed loan. Really? Wait. Okay. First of all, I'm pretty sure they used their inventory as loans for collateral already. This is a cute story. So when we think about prudent risk management, we're thinking about the borrower. We're thinking about the collateral, and here we're secured. Really? How? Okay. If it was that easy, they already have loans against their assets in the first place. This is BS. Morgan Stanley said to Reuters in an interview that the bank has no exposure to recent bankruptcies and does not focus on consumer credit. Uh, that's not consumer credit. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. The company filed bankruptcy, and they're the ones that have loans. That's not consumers. Okay, all right. Uh, its controls after finding itself exposed. J.P. Morgan Chase is exposed. Wells Fargo, BlackRock, despite investor fears of wider ripple. There's going to be a wider ripple. This is why we want you to get ready in 1 year, 3 months, because there's going to be a serious problem. J.P. Morgan wrote off 170 million, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Check this out. There's more. 500 million. UBS examining the impact of bankruptcy of First Brands on several of its investment funds, with the Swiss bank exposed to the tune of more than 500 million. Here goes the meltdown. Again, there's lots going on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you guys see, this is what I'm saying. This is corporations who have the inside track. You understand, people work for these companies. These companies, when these First Brands, Tricolor have a problem, they're laying off thousands. That also means there's billions of dollars on the line. I'm going to ask you something. If you have a business, it files bankruptcy and can't pay its current loans, debt consolidation is needed, right? You need to restructure the payments, right? Just what we're talking about with what you should do with tracy.sharpe with an E at the end at moneyladder.com. You should do the same thing. It is all doable for the individual and for the business. You need to do the same thing. Don't let these guys just do it themselves and get out of what they have to do to become solvent. You are worse than a corporation. You can't go get loans like these guys can. If your credit is jacked, everything else is jacked. That means when you try to get an apartment, you got problems. You try to get a house, you got problems. You try to buy furniture because that's overpriced now and you need to use your credit or have some extended credit. Can't get it, right? Your car breaks down. They have credit now for fixing cars, right? Think about how much credit you may need if you're living paycheck to paycheck. 80% of you are out here living paycheck to paycheck during the month. So don't even try to walk by me and act like, oh, not me. 80% is a large percentage of the population. And it's 85%, I'm pretty sure by now. In fact, I 100% believe it's higher than 85% because of our financial situation here in America. Tariff wars is no good. That's not a good financial strategy. We now have to bail out our farmers, which now means our food prices are going to increase. It's insane. Who didn't see this coming? All right, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen, because the stock market volatility means you win. How do you win? Oh, by the way, hold on. Let me show you guys when I'm going to be doing late night, because again, MDA, I got to give him credit. 0214 said, hey, I should just do it myself, right? Oh, I don't have the back. Let me show you guys. Hold on. Let me find this. Let me see if I have it. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's one of these. It's one of these, right? Let me go see. It's got to be one of these. Here we go. So you guys know how we rock with this, background. Here goes. I'm going to swap it out. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Autobot. There you go. The Autobot. You see it online. The Autobot. Now, again, the Autobot does cost money. But again, the Autobot has its moments. But I would not advise you to use the Autobot unless you actually learn how to trade. And use the Autobot on demo mode before you actually do any live trading. Because again, I started utilizing the Autobot when I know what it's catered to do. Basically, the Autobot I have, I don't know if they're different or what it is, but if the market goes down, then it tends to increase my money. The market went up, and it sometimes could increase it as well. So it goes both ways. But the fact of the matter is, I just put it on when I think it's going to go down. That's when I cut it on. Meanwhile, I just trade myself. So that will be, I think that's the new background for when I do the live streams for that. So let me know what you guys think. All right. Just had to show you that. All right. Once I learn a little bit more, but again, I'm going to have that as the background when we do the candle, when I do the candle PDF over a few days. I'm going to be doing some of that. All right. Best viewers. Copy. Okay. That's cute. All right. Here we go. Now, back to the stock market volatility. Are you guys going to bet on yourself because you have to be in that game? This is one of the games that's going to keep going. The Federal Reserve, the corporations, the millionaire boys and the billionaire boys club, they are not going to lose. The only way they can lose is if the market melts down. But because you have so many ETFs, because you have now crypto ETFs, you have so many people that have fingers in the market that it can't do a total meltdown because you have hundreds of billions of dollars that could be invested into the market, into just a few corporations in order to prop it up. Plus, the Federal Reserve can come in and buy stocks. They have a desk now, all right, at the New York NASDAQ stock exchanges, right? So they can do trades. They can buy it up themselves. Because remember, some of these corporations, they owe billions of dollars. Who do you think gave them the loan? Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve can print money from their money printer to go pop up the market because they know these top corporations owe them billions. So that's where they can also theoretically, I'll use theoretically, borrow money to prop up the market because they know as long as they're propped up, they're going to get the money back. And they can print money too because bonds have been purchased. So they can prop up the market. This is what's happening. And that's why you can have like the Magnificent Seven. If they have a good day, the market rises. If they have a bad day, the market goes down. Volatility we love, just like today. Up, up, and away. Last week, big drop, then a big increase. Now another big increase. Are you in the game, ladies and gentlemen? Because this game right here is one of the ones that you can do yourself. Your friends, your family, the loved ones, you guys should be studying this. Again, I resisted this my whole life. People told me 20, 30 years ago, you'd be good at this because you're the numbers guy. You're good. You have these things. You can just think off the top of your head. I'm like, nah, I don't like it. I don't understand. I just could never get it. Now, I finally, my friend started explaining some things, and I was like, oh, you got it. It was hard. I was making it harder than it seemed because I could never see people's hands. People had hotkeys. They say, yeah, see that trade? And I'm like, where? On the YouTube channels. What trade? I don't see. You didn't do anything. But I didn't realize they were using hotkeys. They wouldn't use a cursor and things like that. So I was like, oh man, I can't deal with this. Plus the candles, that's a foreign language at the time. It was a foreign. I was like, I don't even know what these candles mean. And even if the candles meant that helps me trade, because I didn't know how to trade. I didn't even know how to buy, sell, do any stop losses, any of that. I just know on my brokerage account, buy, sell, and yeah, I can do a stop loss. Okay, big deal, but not on those charts because I don't have to worry about charts. So I was making things harder than it was, but then again, I was resistant because I was like, I don't need to do that. Now, after learning, and I realize what the government is doing, squeezing everybody, they can't squeeze you if you're in the market. So if you learn how to trade the market, that means you could always make money. And it doesn't have to be XAU USD. It could be SPY. It could be QQQ. It could be like DIM pals and do yield max ETFs. Or the dollar versus the yen. The dollar versus another currency. It could be BTC. It could be Ethereum. There could be a myriad. You take your choices of what you want to do, but you have options all over the place. And obviously, I don't know how to do option trading, so I can't help there. But the point is, that's what we're doing. Nice background. Thank you so much, Brian P. I appreciate it. That's what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to be busting out some. I don't know if I'm going to do videos or I'm going to do live streams. You guys know I like to do live streams. Those are easier, but live streams fall in a different bucket, right? So we're back monetized. We have our membership channel. So if you would like to become a member of the channel, please do so. I have to get some new emojis and some other things recreated because the old ones are no longer any good. So I'm going to have some new ones next week. And we're going to start doing a few things in members only status and things of this nature. So just keep in mind on Wednesday, we're going to have another discussion about what we're doing. And again, if some of you did miss what he was referring to, in case you just now joined us, I have when I start talking about this, trades, here it is, the Autobots. All right. I call it the Autobot. It's auto trading bot, gold USD, which is XAU USD, right? So you can go in there and study the demo. Now, it does cost. The Autobot's expensive. It's a $2,500 one-time lifetime fee, or you can pay $1,000 for 1 year. You can see the referral, Eric Bird. My name's on the left-hand side. You're going to have to study, though. Just don't use the Autobot. Because, again, the Autobot is good. Yes, there's people making money. But, again, if the stock market goes up and up and up like it's been doing, traditionally, the Autobot I have and others, it's not zoned for going up, up, and up. It's zoned for if it goes down and stays within a range, but goes down, right? And it's pretty fast because you have hundreds of trades, buy, sells. It does a lot of stuff. So, so you want to know what the bot's doing, and you want to know where you think the market's going to go, implement it. You can always close out. You don't have to lose your money. You could say, okay, it didn't work or it moved up 100, plus or minus 100, 200, 300. It's up to you. Let it ride, whatever, but at least know what's going on, which is when I started the Autobot, since I didn't know about trading at all, I didn't know what was going on. Now that I've learned a little more, I was messing around yesterday, said, hey, this is what's going to happen. Cut this on. Let's see what happens. Sure enough, 900, 1,000, 13, 14, 1,500. I was like, in less than 5 minutes because it put in so many trades. So then I said, oh, man, if I can do this every day, or I'd rather do it personally, but hey, if that can be some sort of tool, it's worth the $2,500 lifetime that I pay because we have two. So now you understand if I can do two of these and we can do, again, I would only wanted 200, 300 in the first place. Now I'm like, well, wait a minute, I can do a lot more because I can do my own personals plus use Autobots on 2 accounts. I think I can do it. I'm up to a challenge. What about you? Stock market volatility is good for us, good for traders, right? Let me hear from the guys that's doing their thing. That's why DIM Pals loves Yieldmax ETFs trades, because they're so volatile. Up 1 minute, down the next. If you bet on the sell side and it goes down, which it does every Wednesday night, I mean, it's almost like making money out of thin air. That's exactly what it's like. All right. Let me know what you guys think, because this volatility means that you can win. Invest. You get to decide. You bet on yourself. You get to study. And oh, by the way, I did see that background. I got to take it back down because we're not doing any of that trades right now. But again, that's what it's going to look like, ladies and gentlemen, when we're up. So we're going to make these trades, but I'm going to run now because it is Monday Night Football. I'm pretty sure it may have already ended, but nonetheless, I want to thank everybody for being here. I love you guys very much, and I appreciate your support over all these years. We have new things that's coming out. I'm doing so many different things. I'm too busy, but I have family matters as well. So this is one of those interesting times when I'm busy, family matters, whole bunch of things going on, coast to coast. And now I'm going to add some more things to my plate, which is going to be funny. So we're going to see how this all turns out. And if you want to play a little bit of poker online, we'll see if I can get the World Poker Tour. I mean, it's not World Poker Tour. Oh, it is World Poker Tour, WPT. World Poker Tour poker room online. We'll see if I get to be an affiliate for them. And when I go to Vegas, I'm hoping that they have I don't know if they have a spot in Vegas yet, like Poker Go and a few other places that have their own arenas down there. But it would be awfully nice. But if not, no big deal, because we do have America's Card Room. That's right. I still have connections. But I wanted to have WPT just because if they allow it in America, that would be awesome. All right. America's Card Room's okay, too. I mean, my moneymaker is actually one of their spokesmen now, so that's cool. But we'll be talking about a lot of different things, because basically you have to have multiple streams of revenue, right? So I'm going to rebuild a bunch of revenue streams, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I figured I better increase revenue streams, as many as we can. 5 to 10 is what you need. All right. So get on with it, ladies and gentlemen. Another protection for yourself. And I'll see you on Wednesday, I hope, at 8:50 p.m. All right? Is that a deal? I hope so. Because no matter what happens, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And you know what this means. You're going to have to make extra streams of revenue from somewhere. So let's go. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Some people might write books. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, some people will be on social media, going to TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and doing their thing on there. Nothing wrong with that. But the extra streams is mandatory. Volatility is good on the stock market, but volatility is not good in your life. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, be safe out here, because you never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of things going on, and a lot of people are under stress. 8 out of 10 people under stress every month, due to the lack of money and living paycheck to paycheck. 2 people working or 1 working. Single moms, single dads. Stressing. Need child care help? It's expensive. Findhelp.org might have child care help. Subsidies, something to help you. Findhelp.org, ladies and gentlemen. Go check it out. And with all that said, make sure, no matter what, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm